Hello and welcome to Singing Made Simple. My name is Rodric King. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of vocal training to help teach you how to sing. So before we get started, who is Rodric King? I'm a professional singer, been singing professionally since 2016. I have done everything from weddings to corporate events to city events to singing in stadiums, and the audiences you typically range between 50 up to and through 16,000. I'm a self-taught singer. I started learning how to sing back in 2009 on YouTube, just like you're doing now, watching numerous videos, trying stuff out, and keep doing it till it works. From 2009 maybe to 2014, I decided to quit my job and live on the street and sing and force it until I became a full-time paid singer, and that's what I did, and it ended up working out. In 2016, I got picked up by one of the largest entertainment companies here in the state of Florida. Wrote an entire book about the process, what I did, how I did, what happened on that journey. And it's a great story. It's motivational. The name of the book that I wrote, which you can see the book back here, is titled The Life That Brightens the Light. You can Google that by Rodric King, and it'll come up on all your major platforms. Get that book, check it out, tell me what you think. Also, in between 2018 and 2019, I went viral for the first time on YouTube, and since then I've been going viral off and on for one popular video and been accumulating a lot of fans for singing Unchained Melody, and that video is over 30 million views between all the social media platforms online today. You may or may have not seen me online before. So enough about me. Let's get started. So let's start with one of the biggest tips of your entire singing journey. Now, I want you to keep in mind, the reason I think I'm qualified to help you, not only because of my professional experience, but because I've been in the same seat that you're currently sitting in. You want to learn how to sing. You hear the saying that, oh, if you're not a born singer, it's just impossible, or you can sound all right if you had a little bit of training. Don't be discouraged. You can learn how to sing. You can, if you apply the techniques that I'm going to teach you and you follow me along on this vocal journey, I'm telling you, you'll be able to do what you would like to do with your voice. All right. Now, here's one of the greatest tips that I wish I would have learned when I started out where you're starting out. And here's the most important thing: diaphragmatic breathing. Anything that you want to learn about your voice, the most important thing that you need to start with is diaphragmatic breathing. That is the most important thing. Don't look beyond that, because diaphragmatic breathing is how you are able to accomplish all the phonation that you wish to do with your voice. Now, there's this thing that I love to tell any student that I've ever trained, and I've trained a few students over the period of maybe 6 or 7 years of my vocal training, on my vocal coaching history. I tell every student this: if Beyonce, if Michael Jackson, if think of the greatest singer you know, whoever is one of your favorite artists, if it required 4 lungs to be a Beyonce, to be a Michael Jackson or a Justin Timberlake, if it required 4 lungs to be a Chris Brown, obviously if you don't have the equipment, you can't perform to the level that these professionals do. That is not the case. You have the appropriate equipment. You just need to learn how to use it. So going back to the point, diaphragmatic breathing, that is where we start. You need to learn how to breathe, okay? And this is one of the very first things that I teach in my personal course. You can have coaching from me directly, either in person or online or group sessions. I'll leave all the information in the description so you can learn how to be a part of that and learn what it takes to be a part of that course to have personal coaching from me. So here's one of the things I teach about diaphragmatic breathing. But before I get into that, let me explain to you my personal experience with diaphragmatic breathing. When I first learned this, I went to many coaches that were online to learn how to breathe properly, because they saying sing from the diaphragm, sing from the diaphragm. Okay, well, how do you do that? I found one coach online. They taught me how to do it. I found that using their technique, I could sing high, all the high stuff, but when it came to the low tone or chest voice stuff, I couldn't produce the sound or I couldn't do it with confidence. Then I go to another trainer. They taught me how to breathe from the diaphragm. And with them, I could sing, but I could sing very, very low tone stuff, but I could not build with that technique. But then I kept searching and searching, and I found someone that had a strategy where I can use this vocal technique, or this diaphragmatic breathing, where I can sing very, very low or I can sing very, very high. So that was what I stuck with. So I'm here to tell you, if you are going to be a great singer, if you want to be the best at the top of your game, you're going to have to master breathing and singing from the diaphragm. And I am one of the greatest at doing it. There may be others, but you have access to me if you need to learn this, okay? Now, here's one of the philosophies that I teach surrounding diaphragmatic breathing, okay? And what I teach all of my students is something called the mattress effect. The mattress effect. What is the mattress effect? Okay, let's say, for example, you have an air mattress, right? You blow it up to its maximum capacity, and then you cap it off so that none of the air can escape. Now, when you're done with the mattress and you're ready to let all the air out, the first thing you do is you unscrew the cap, and as soon as that cap come out, all of the air rushes out. You don't have to do anything to assist that air from escaping the mattress, right? Now, there's something happens after that first phase, which is phase 2. How do we get to phase 2? It's something I teach all my students. It's called the flip. After a certain point, all the air rushes out of the mattress. You still have air trapped inside of the mattress, but it's not coming out on its own. This is when you have to roll the mattress up, or you have to force the air out any way that you can. And then once you get all the air out, your mission accomplished. The lungs work exactly like the mattress, the air mattress. So I train this to all of my students to teach them how to maximize their breathing, how to maximize the power and the tonality by teaching them the mattress effect and taking advantage of exercises to strengthen phase 1 of the mattress effect and phase 2 of the mattress effect. When you put these two things together, you're more powerful, you have more tonality, more vocal control, you can do vocal runs, you can sustain notes so much longer. Like, it just opens, it's like having, here's a great example. It's like taking a 440 engine and putting it in any vehicle. And it's like, once you get all of this power, you just need to learn how to use it at that point. But the power is there if you need it. So here's the deal. So the mattress effect. So what I teach when I vocal train all of my students, what I coach, is we find a way in that first breath, when you take a natural inhale, almost when you intake the air, you smell through your nose as if you are smelling a rose. You never want to overfill your lungs, because if you feel, the way it comes in is the way it comes out. So if you take a deep breath and you're full and you're packed and all this tension, if you're heaving in air with tension, it's going to come out with tension. But if you have a natural, relaxed, like you're trying to smell fresh roses, that is a good full breath. Once you start to release that air, you don't want to allow that air to just escape. You want your body to naturally resist the urge of letting the air rush out. So your body is literally retaining the air. And you're doing this while you're singing a note, or while you're singing on that breath. Now, when I refer to on the breath, this is what I mean. So if I sing happy birthday, I'm going to sing happy birthday on one breath. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. That's all the air. So that was one breath. So after all of that air is gone, then you have to reset. So I'm going to diaphragmically teach you how to sing on that one breath, but we're going to maximize phase 1 and phase 2. So there's exercises to isolate phase 1, where we're only going to teach your body to remember how to resist the urge of letting air rush out. And all that's going to do is maximize the capacity of the air that you have in phase 1 of the mattress effect. Now, after you master that, we do a few exercises and we strengthen that part of phase 1 of the mattress effect. Then we move on to phase 2. This is where we get the diaphragm, because you know the lungs is just a bag. The way the air escapes the lungs is by the diaphragm pushing up on the lungs, which I'll have diaphragms and stuff like that if you're in my vocal training course. But for right now, visualize a bag, and under the bag is a muscle that pushes the air up and out of the lungs, okay? What we do is we strengthen. In phase 2, we're going to strengthen those muscles to get, so when you have a little bit of like a cubic inch or smaller of air left in your lungs, the diaphragm is strong enough to push that air out and get it out of the lungs, where you can take advantage of that and create a big sound out of that. So when you put phase 1 and phase 2 together, you're retaining the air. The flip happens. Now you got to push. Your diaphragm is strong enough to maximize phase 2 of the mattress effect. So when you put these two things together, and then start including exercises into this and using scales to perfect your tonality and to address certain registers to how you produce phonation. Like, all these things going to come together and give you a greater advantage of phonating and singing. And however you want to use this voice, even if you were doing public speaking, this type of breathing will maximize how you use a breath. And that's only the mattress effect. There's another thing that I train with all of my students. It's called the suction effect. You don't take in a breath, you relax and let the breath come back naturally. But that will be for another day. So what we've gone over so far is who I am, how I get to where I am, a little bit of my story, a book that you can find to learn more about my story. I've talked about me going viral a little bit. One of the biggest tips that you're going to get out of this, and this is the most important thing, you need to get one solid technique down for diaphragmatic breathing and apply that to your singing, public speaking, however you're going to use your breath and your diaphragm, because it supports the voice naturally. It supports it to the maximum capacity that you're going to. It's the best technique for anything that you're trying to do when it comes to phonation, okay? So I explained a little bit about the mattress effect. Phase 1 is when it rushes out. Phase 2 is when it has to be pushed out. And then I touched on suction effect, which is something we'll tackle in a whole nother video. So basically, that's the number one tip that I wanted to share in this video. There will be other videos. I would like you to comment in the video below what you thought about this lesson. If you have any questions, if you have videos that you want me to tackle on specific topics, specific ideas, or if you just have questions or concerns. Also, I do offer vocal training. That is going to be in a link in this description below. I have a number for you to call, or you can reach out to me via email, or you can comment under this video. However you feel to reach out to me, all that information is going to be in the description below. Also, here's the last thing before I close. Why do you need a coach? I'm going to answer this question from my own experience. This is the best part about having me as a coach, or having anyone as a coach. Well, more specifically me and then anybody. The reason I'm a good fit for a coach is because I've been where you are. It took me 5 years to become a strong singer. I could have shaved 2.5 years off of that if I had a coach. Here is why. Because there was a lot of times I was doing exercises that I was getting on YouTube and was performing them incorrectly. And I was thinking I was getting results, and I wasn't using it properly. So I was getting some results, but it wasn't the accurate result that the exercise was shooting for. But after enough trial and error, and me doing it long enough, and me trying, and that's the thing. I'm glad I said that. So with enough trial and error, I figured out that I was doing it wrong. But once I started applying it properly, then I had instant results, which is why I'm a results-based coach, because I know that I can get you results instantly. Not next year, not 2 months from now, not 3. I can get you instant results with techniques. And anytime you're doing these exercises, you should always see instant results, or you need to find another trainer or get information from someone else. So the number one reason for instruction is because a coach like myself or anyone else, they're going to make sure that you are doing the exercises properly, and they're going to make sure that you are feeling the correct sensations and getting the correct results from the exercises that you're doing. If you're going to YouTube and finding these videos and doing these exercises on your own, you could be doing it wrong. You could hurt yourself. You could not be feeling what you're supposed to be feeling in order to get the accurate result. And how would you know what result you're going for if you're just listening to a video? Because one person is doing it on a video and he's doing it his way and he's saying how it feels to him doesn't mean it's going to feel like that for you. All right. So the next thing is why you need a coach. Once I can get you to a point where you know what these sensations should feel like, you know how these exercises operate, you know what they are targeting, and you can find your own weaknesses and add a exercise to strengthen that particular weakness, you should instantly hear the difference. Now, here's the next thing that I wanted to mention with why you need a coach. Okay, we're doing all these and this was a question I had when I was in your position. Okay, we're doing all these exercises. Now, how do I take these exercises and apply it to a song? Oh my gosh, that was so tricky. When I was learning to sing and doing all these exercises, and a year later, 2 years later, figure out, oh, I was doing the exercise wrong. I was supposed to feel like this. Okay, now I'm doing it right. I can see that I'm hitting this high note with more confidence, more power, and I can sustain the note longer. But how do I apply this to a song? How do I do that? A coach will help you cross that bridge. And that was another piece of the trial and error that I had to learn on my own. So I could have shaved off 2.5 years of me learning how to sing and getting to the goal much quicker. So the good thing is that you found a coach. If you're interested in signing up, go to the link in the description and there'll be more for you there. Now, this next clip that I'm going to roll right before this video ends, in my course, I'm going to begin adding industry tips. Like, for an example, I'm a professional singer, so therefore I sing in venues. I sing for large crowds. I deal with microphones. I deal with sound techs. I deal with production teams. I deal with dancers. I deal with a cast. I deal with showing up to places. I deal with dress code. I deal with what I'm supposed to wear and how I'm supposed to wear it, what type of songs I need to learn, how do I learn songs, using different technical equipment. Like sometimes you have something called in-ear monitors. There's little tips about these that you need to know. There's stuff that you need to know about hearing protection and being in this industry, how you can lose your hearing, how to protect it. Also warming up the voice, cooling the voice down. What if you've done 5 back-to-back shows and now you have vocal fatigue? What type of exercise do you do? What do you drink? What don't you drink? How do you worsen your voice? How do you better your voice? Sleep is the #1 killer of your voice. Number 2 is alcohol. Number 3 is hydration. If you're not hydrated, the vocal cords are the first thing to go. No sleep, no water, your voice is shot for the day. It will not last. And if it does, you'll have great difficulty. And if you're trying to sing through that difficulty, you can cause damage. If you've been coughing or sneezing all day, the vocal cords swell up. You go think you're going to do a regular show and you can cause permanent damage. So it's a lot of things that you need to know. And being that I'm not just a vocal coach, I am a professional singer with over 10 years of it. No, with close to 10 years of experience. I'm coming up on my 10-year mark singing professionally, but I've been singing since 2009. I want to not only show you how to have a great voice, I want to show you how to protect it. I want to give you industry secrets on how to work with sound techs and what different songs that you're going to be learning. What's a top 40 band? You don't have to be famous in order to make a living singing. There's plenty of things you could do. There's theme parks, there's voiceovers, there's background singers, there's studio singers, there's reference singers. Like, there's so many different ways to make money. And I'm here to help you through it. Even if you just want to be a TikTok singer. When it comes to recording equipment, lighting, cameras, audio, all of these things, different DAWs, interface systems that you can use, different tools that you can use. When it comes to what kind of cameras, why would you use this camera? It's so many different things. So I'm here to help you navigate all of that. So wherever you need assistance is where I want to be of assistance. Okay. So I'm not just your typical vocal coach. All right, so I think that wraps up this video. The next video, I have no idea what that topic is going to be about, but stay tuned because there's going to be more Singing Made Simple coming to you soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. So I am about to do a show right now. It is about, what? Aaron, what time is it right now?
Huh?
What time is it?
It is 7:10.
It's 7:10 in the morning, and we're about to sing. So what I am doing is finding a place in my range where, hold on, show information. So what I'm doing is finding areas in my range where I can get the mucus off the cords in that particular range so I can use the vocals. Example would be right there.
Let's do some music, shall we? Would you like us to start?
Basically blow on a note until that note clears out. So
Yes,
that's what that sounds like. So I'm going to get ready for this early morning rehearsal.
All right.
And peace.